Someone wrote in, my wife loses her temper easily. And you may be the wife who's watching this video, but I'm going to address this to men and you can gather what you wish from it. So guys, let's get into this. My name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. And I want to tell you right from the start that this is not simple or easy for you, but I'll be able to give you guidance that will help. You're going to really need to pay attention. Now, remember, at the Marriage Foundation, our focus is entirely on not fixing problems. No, that's what the psychologists attempt to do, which is why we have over a 50% divorce rate, because you cannot fix problems to fix a marriage. You need to fix the marriage, and then all the problems that are big become smaller until they're non-existent. And that's where I'm going to take you today. I'm going to give you an understanding of what's going on so you understand it and understand why there's nothing you can do. You're not going to change your wife. And then I'm going to give you a different context so that, well, I'm going to give you a couple things to do so that you're not directly impacted by her temper. But mostly, I'm going to give you some things to do that will help you completely change your marriage so that this big problem becomes a tiny problem. Well, it's never going to be tiny, but it'll be a whole lot smaller. So let's begin with what anger is all about, okay? Because if you can understand it, it's going to give you insight about how you can work with her so that she is still feeling the love and support that you promised her. Now, remember, why did you get married and why did she get married are for the same big reasons. The top line reasons is so that both of you are happier and so that you experience unconditional love, each of you in your own way. And that can still take place in spite of the anger. So what is anger? So we all know that a universal innate ingredient that is in our DNA, because it is literally in every single living thing, living cell, is the drive to survive. The necessity for self-preservation literally rules life in this world. Right? You know that from your biology classes, you know it from science, everyone knows it. The trouble is, all we really learn from that, and you could say it with me, is fight or flight, right? Well, that doesn't really talk about what's going on here with that self-preservation thing, that drive to survive. And this is good stuff. This is really going to help you not just with your wife, not just with your marriage and your kids, but in life altogether. Because with this understanding, it changes everything. So what happens is in the single cells, multi-cells, thousands of cells combining into a plant, millions of cells into an animal and all of that, it's fairly straightforward. But when you get to a human being, it becomes much more complex because a human being has something that the animals don't have. We have the ability to reason through things. Why is that? It's because we're souls and our mind is a possession. So we aren't our minds. Like an animal is its biology and its mind. It's its body and its mind combined. But a human being is special. We are free from that when we choose. We have free will. And so we can control our minds. We can watch them. So what's happening with this drive? Why is she becoming angry? Is because this drive to survive is compelling her mind to be self-protective. I hate using the word defensive nowadays because everyone uses it in such a negative way. It's like a negative label saying, oh, you're defensive, therefore you're an a-hole. No, no, no. You're defensive because all of your body is telling your mind to protect the body and mind, and the mind is figuring out that something is dangerous, and so it sets up filters, barriers, walls, whatever you want to call it. But what stimulates that first reaction that there is danger is anger. Bam. There you have it. It's a triggering device. And then the anger takes on a life of its own. What does anger do? Why is anger useful in that situation? Is because it blocks reason, which is why you can't be reasonable with your wife when this happens. It blocks all reason. Think about it for yourself. You're out in the woods. All of a sudden, you hear a bear coming at you. If you don't have a gun, man, you're going to hightail out of there. You're not going to think. You're going to get out of there. And the only thinking you're going to do is going to be instantaneous. How do I get the heck out of here? That's what the anger does. It doesn't go into, well, I wonder if that bear has cubs. I wonder if the bear is running from something. I wonder blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. Expediency is in order right now, driven by that spark of anger. Shuts everything down except reactions that the mind has already evolved to be the right reactions. You're not going to have a chance to think it through. You may imagine, but in a particular situation where danger is right there, you can't. So what's going on for your wife is, for whatever reason, something is forcing her into this mode. The worst thing that you can do is say something about it, because that's an attack. Confronting her about it is an attack. And what's going to happen when you attack? Bam! More walls are going to come up, obviously. So there's a bunch of don't do's. Don't attack her by pointing it out to her. Don't let her know. Don't react in a way that will trigger more defenses. You can figure it out on the spot. How? You have to remain calm. How? Now we're getting to where I'm going to give you some techniques that will help you remain calm when she's losing her temper. Because really, that's sort of what you wanted to know anyway when you wrote in. It wasn't so much a complaint. We don't complain about our wives. We want to know, and what do I do about it? Right? That's the assumptive sentence that comes next. So here's what you do about it. First of all, overall, remember you got married to be of service and love to her. She's your queen. You're there for her in sickness and in health. And don't say, yeah, but. It's a reality. It's not an imaginary ideal. It's a reality. And it exists in order for both of you to have this beautiful nest of love. So now it's your turn to step up to the plate and be there for her. So now you understand more of what's going on for her. You can observe it. And when she attacks, which is inevitable if she's losing her temper, you have a rule. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to even allow my mind to react. And here's where it gets good. Your mind wants to bite her hand off. You're not going to allow your mind to have those thoughts. It is your mind. It's not her mind. It's your mind. You're in charge of your mind, and you're going to discipline it. You're going to take that on, and you're going to tell your mind, we ain't going there, buddy. I'm a powerful guy. She's just a little woman, and I am not going to squish her. I am not going to enclose her. I'm not going to section her off. What I am going to do is I'm going to listen to her. I'm going to wait for an opening, and at that opening, I'm going to tell her I love her and that everything's going to be okay. You're going to take this as an opportunity to present what she needs in a marriage, which is security. You are her security. So if you get mad, you're not her security. But if you become supportive and loving, you don't want to solve her problems either. That's not what we're talking about. It's not your job. Your job is to be supportive and loving. Let your face express love. Let your demeanor, your voice, express love. You become the man. You be there for her. Let her know that she can flip out anytime she wants, and you're still there for her. Your form of protection of her is to give her the space to do it. Now, it's unfortunate that she doesn't know how her mind is working, but now is not the time to explain it to her. Now, later on, you can say, I watched this video. She's got to be really calm. You got to pick the moment. And when you're talking to her about this, if she starts reacting negatively, say, oh my God, I just forgot something. And she goes, what? You are so beautiful. And change the subject. Don't walk down this path of giving her this kind of information if she's going to be reactive. Pick your moment. And if you never get an opportunity, oh, then you never get an opportunity. It's just the way it is. You're there to love her. You're there to nurture the love, nurture the environment so that she's feeling comfortable with you all the time. And that's what you do. It's not what you expected, is it? Never is. But it works. This is what works. You can't change another human being. It is literally impossible. But you have the power to change yourself completely. Look, you should be subscribing to this channel. You need to learn about marriage from a positive point of view and a realistic point of view of what works and what doesn't work. You want more, you get one of my books. You really want to master your marriage, which means having more happiness than you've ever had in your life and more love than you've ever experienced in your life, get the Course for Men. That'll do it. I get going, don't I? So I hope this was helpful. Leave a comment if you want. Don't leave one of those snide comments if you're feeling defensive from what I've said. I'll just remove it. I don't need that stuff. This information is for people who want happiness in their marriage. And they recognize that they can make their marriage happy. They themselves, you yourself, have the power to make your marriage amazing. And that's what I'd like to show you. All right. Blessings to you and your wife, and take care. And like the video.